Ted Kaczynski, Unabomber. We start off today in Chicago, where on the 22nd of May 1942, our person of interest was born.
This person is called Ted Kaczynski.
Ted was a normal, happy and healthy baby.
Until he caught a case of severe hives, taken to hospital and kept in isolation.
This changed Ted, and he was no longer a happy child.
Ted from an early age showed signs that he was super intelligent.
However, he was super awkward and struggled to maintain eye contact.
Ted was a maths wizard, and by the age of 16 he earned a scholarship to Harvard.
This next bit is really concerning, as up until this point Ted hadn't done much wrong.
For the next 3 years, Ted was tied up in human experiments, MK Ultra some might call it.
For 3 whole years, Ted was put under mind control techniques with verbal and physical abuse.
And if you don't know about MK Ultra and the shit they used to do to people, stay tuned, there's a video coming very soon.
Ted flew through Harvard and then went on to the University of Michigan.
Ted was a genius, and to put into perspective, Albert Einstein was believed to have an IQ of 160. Ted scored 167.
He was so talented, but he decided to throw it all away to live in Montana in a remote wooden shack off the grid.
Basically, Ted became the weird guy living in the woods.
Ted was known as not being very talkative or approachable.
Anyone who made a noise around Ted, he would just flip out.
People would drive by his property on motorbikes, and Ted didn't like this.
So Ted went round and smashed their cabin up.
The local sawmill annoyed Ted.
So old Ted popped down and poured sawdust in all their machines. Ted was sat in his little shack knocking up pipe bomb.
Ted would purposely put misleading clues in the packages to mislead the FBI.
Ted went from mailing bombs in the post to getting them put on planes.
Luckily, this bomb malfunctioned and the pilot managed to carry out an emergency landing.
Ted was non-stop, and to be honest, the FBI, they didn't know where to start looking for him.
Ted always seemed one step ahead, but when he suddenly thought it was a bit on top, he decided to have a 6-year break.
In 1993, Ted was back on the beat and continued his bombing spree.
All in all, Ted set off 17 bombs.
And only 2 got defused.
He demanded that they printed his manifesto.
This manifesto was a 35,000-word essay.
After a long, hard debate, they finally decided to give Ted what he wanted because he promised to stop the bombings.
The media branded it the rantings of a madman, but I've read the essay and I've listened to the audiobook. And even though I don't agree with blowing up innocent people, Ted had some valid points. And he's almost predicted the future state of this Ponzi-ass world. They rumbled Ted due to certain words he kept spelling wrong. Shame it wasn't a maths question. That was his area of expertise.
On April the 3rd, 1996, Ted was finally arrested.
Ted's convictions are as follows. 10 counts of transportation and use of melon of bombs.
Ted is still imprisoned to this day.
Ted being branded a terrorist, which is hard to argue. He got 8 life sentences and he got 0 chance of ever getting parole.